Smitley.com, bringing a training log video with commentary. This is week 3 of the Conjugate Monster program, the recap, and all that kind of good stuff. Got some various footage for the week. So for max effort lower, we ran with the buffalo bar and 3 chains per side. Now that I'm a couple weeks in, things are getting a little bit heavier. We ran with some 6s for the day, or at least I did. So for this bow bar work, I got up to 350 for 6 against 120 pounds of chains. That was a PR by I think 10 or 15 pounds actually, and it moved pretty well. I'm actually pretty pleased with how my squatting is looking and feeling. I'm not sure if that's because of the food, or if just the way I have the training laid out. I'm not pushing really heavy weights all the time, so I'm able to go down and drop the weight a little bit and get some PRs. But regardless, things felt pretty good. So after that top end set, went to I think 315 is what this was. I hit that for a set of 10, almost like a burnout. So that's basically what my weights are going to start beginning to look like. I'm basically going to work up to a rep max, still with a little bit left in the tank. At least that's the goal. And then hit like one sub-max set with the same amount of reps, and then take that set balls to the wall. So with a max effort days, I feel I can do that for hitting that top end set and then one high rep set. Because then after that, it's really just some fluff, some volume work, and then some light accessory stuff. So my max effort lower days take place on Saturdays usually, and that is my current refeed day. So I've had a refeed day since the beginning of starting working with Cliff. Week 1, my refeed day was over 450 grams of carbs. Now I'm dwindled down to, for this week, I'm dwindled down towards, I think it was 375, which is still a lot for somebody my size. I mean, that's still 2.5 times my body weight in grams of carbohydrates, so I'm not going to complain. But the reason we put it there was because we knew that was my heaviest training day. The volume is not insanely high, but also I don't have any other commitments, like huge commitments during the day. So being able to get that kind of food down is very important. Where if I'm on the go all the day, I'm drinking shakes or trying to scarf down rice in 15 minutes, that's not a really enjoyable way to try to put down 400 grams of carbs. So I thought Saturday would be best, even if I sleep in a little bit. It's still having me take some meals anywhere between 50 and 100 grams of carbohydrates per meal, which is a lot, but it's just more manageable. And then for the rest of the week, I was at 300 grams of carbohydrates for the day. So I basically run the same macros for every single day except for that every 7th day. And I'll talk a little bit more about that probably as he begins to tweak things and I begin to feel the difference. So as you saw for the max effort day, I had some floor press against chains with the axle bar. Managed to hit some PRs there as well. Felt pretty solid, nothing too spectacular, any special to write home about. But my bench press, if anything, has been feeling the best since the nutrition. Granted, that's because my weight's up a little bit. And like I said, the carbohydrates are really high, especially on Saturdays, and that's carrying over into Sundays, which that's kind of how I did my own nutrition anyways, where my max effort lower days were tending to be more my heavier days of carbs, but I never took in close to 400 grams of carbohydrates when I was powerlifting. So dynamic effort lower day, this was a Tuesday, and it's a volumes week. It's the final wave of the cambered bar and the short light bands. Just 8 doubles with 245 bar weight in the bands. So I thought they looked pretty solid. I thought my box squatting began to look better. It was a pretty good cycle. Only one intensity day, but as you'll see, I managed to take 295 for 3 sets of 8. In the week prior, I did 395 for a set of 10 as my top set. I know I admittedly left some in the tank, but I kind of did that on purpose considering I was jumping back into training still. So, good progress there. The following week, the bar will change and all that kind of good stuff. But we're still going to run with the box. but I'm pretty pleased with my ability to knock out 8 doubles at 50% and then just take 295 for 3 sets of 8. It's a lot of work. It's a lot of volume. Speed deadlifts. Still run with sumo and straight weight for this cycle. The way the speed deadlifts will be, it'll be every it'll cycle for 6 weeks. So since I'm only speed pulling 3 times in 6 weeks, it basically gives me at least with this straight weight here, percentage wise, comes out to 65, 70, 75%. So this is not terribly heavy at 355 bar weight. Just really trying to make sure I keep my pull locked in during this time frame. I do know that I think I'm going to be doing the APF Illinois State meet again. It's in March. My goal there is to do the APF. Just like last year, I'm going to go there and squat and deadlift like 200 pounds and bench press like 100 and just get a total. That way I can go to Nationals, and Nationals is at the end of May. So that will be where I'm going to be gunning probably for my next actual meet. But until then, still bodybuilding stuff, but still training like a powerlifter. So my volume stuff on deadlifts was just taking 355 against 5 chains for 3 sets of 8. Again, nothing crazy to write home about. I'm really just trying to get my glutes and hamstrings working. Try some accessory work out of boredom and having the time. Just some glute ham raises with the back end elevated. And I thought these looked pretty solid and pretty good. I enjoyed doing glute ham raises. I feel like I get a lot out of them. And considering I train my legs at the rec another day of the week, this is almost more of like a glute and hamstring emphasis day. Using the reverse hyper, the glute ham raise, pull throughs, and some different bars and stuff. So I try to keep the accessory work kind of to a minimum on these days, and just use the things that I have access to and that I know I won't be able to use at other places, and then get everything else elsewhere. So some bent knee reverse hypers, and then some buzzsaw planks. I really like the bent knee reverse hypers to get a really good glute contraction, and you also have to keep that hamstring flex at the same time. So we supersetted that, and I just kind of let that run. I do my buzzsaw planks on the reverse hyper. I think it works a little bit better. So you just put your feet up on the pendulum, and then you slide backwards, and make sure you keep that trunk ab area braced. Keep your lats locked in. And it's basically like an ab wheel, except you're in a plank position. You try to basically use your lats to lock everything in and slowly bring your hips forward. So you kind of see my butt peak a little bit at the top whenever I come towards or away from the reverse hyper. It's kind of normal, but definitely will leave you with some abdoms for a couple days. Makes coughing and sneezing and stuff like that not so enjoyable the next week. Then for dynamic effort upper day, really short videos on this day. Adrian came to train with me, so I just got my main work and then spent the time helping her do some back stuff. So the speed bench was just 6 triples at 150 on the Swiss bar, and the chain, same setup, spin the whole cycle. Felt that I'd made some decent progress here as well in terms of speed and then consistency with the bar. It actually feels much better than it ever has. I'm not a big fan. I like this bar, but I'm not a fan of how it feels on my wrist sometimes when it gets really heavy. But I didn't seem to have a problem this training cycle, or at least the cycle of the training cycle. And then my close grip work for my top end set, I ended up getting, I think it was like 205 for 6, which was a PR by, I think, 5 or 10 pounds. It was quite a bit. And I might have had a little bit less in the tank, but I just went and just showed it down there. I had some good momentum going. I'll just come back and beat that another day. And then my 3 sets of 20 was at 115. So I mean, this training cycle, I think I kind of undershot the weights he used for this. But the next 3 weeks, we'll pick something else and try to knock out 3 sets of 20 each week and keep adding a little bit of weight. Good pec contractions, all that kind of stuff. So that's all I've got. Thanks for checking in. That's week 3. If you get any questions, leave them in the comment section. You keep up with the full training over at elitefts.com.